Moustafa. How are you today?
I am fine, and thank you for having me for this podcast. Uh, I want to be informative for the audience, and I am happy to with you.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for joining us. We have been communicating via LinkedIn. You're based in Egypt, and just had a quick chat offline because obviously COP is there at the moment. So there must be a lot of focus on energy currently in your country.
Yes, this project for renewable energy, Egypt signed many of projects in renewable energy, mostly in green hydrogen and green ammonia in Suez Canal area.
Right. Okay.
So
Moustafa, as I just said, we've met through LinkedIn. I know a little bit about you, not enough of the depth for our audience. So for the benefit of today's audience, can you give us some background to yourself, maybe your origin story and what you've been doing in the clean energy revolution industry?
Okay. My background is electrical engineer. I obtained my bachelor degree in Alexandria University in Egypt in 26. Then I do my job for oil and gas sector as electrical engineer in Alexandria in a refinery. I also work in energy efficiency sector in many organizations such as UNIDO. I work with UNIDO in many projects in energy efficiency, motor system optimization, and compressed air system optimization, and pump system optimization in many factories in Egypt, in different categories, such as steel plants, cement plants, oil and gas plants, and electric appliance plants. We work in energy efficiency in all this industry.
Right.
And I also participate in energy efficiency program in Ministry of Petroleum of Egypt, with the cooperation of European Union. It's a grant from EU.
Interesting you say about the gas, oil, and petroleum industry. Are they focusing on energy efficiencies? Is that something that's high on their agenda?
Yes.
Right.
Yes. In Egypt and in Ministry of Petroleum, we obtain a sector for energy efficiency in all companies under agenda of Ministry of Petroleum. These two promoting energy efficiency and decarbonization of oil and gas sector in Egypt.
Right.
And we do the best and participate in a center of excellence for energy efficiency with KBC and JICA from Japan.
Right. And tell me, Moustafa, what has your focus been on in those areas? Are you focusing on technology, or are you focusing on people, or both?
We focus in both. We produce a project to for companies to apply ISO 50001.
Right.
It's energy management system. Many companies in petroleum sector obtain these certificates, and we want to anticipate to these certificates apply for all the companies under Ministry of Petroleum. We focus on people for awareness and training. Ministry of Petroleum do capacity building training for engineers and technicians and awareness sessions for top managers.
Right.
And in technology, we apply many of technologies for motors, boilers, furnace, and all equipment in Ministry of Petroleum sector in Egypt.
Right. And
technology, also technology for use technology such as AI, IoT, or other technologies for energy efficiency, but still underway. We don't apply these technologies until then.
Moustafa, what are the drivers for the organization? Is it to be green and to promote energy management as an organization, climate change, etc., or is it about cost?
It's mainly about cost. The first priority is the cost, and other drivers, climate change and environmental. But the first priority is the cost, to reduce the cost.
Yeah,
this is the first priority. But other priorities such as reduce CO2 emissions and for environmental issue and increase repetition of company and other such as to cooperate with other organizations which provide green issues such as EU and so on.
Yeah. And what are your achievements there? What sort of savings have you been making these organizations?
Please again.
So what achievements regarding the reduction in energy consumption? Do you have any figures of typical figures of reduction you've made?
Yes, companies different achievement between companies. Some companies has great achievement, and some has a little achievement and start very soon. So not I don't have accurate number for this achievement, but we start this journey and we anticipate to achieve more and more.
Yeah, yeah. And is it energy expensive in Egypt?
Energy is not expensive in Egypt. But the government to try to reduce grants and for energy. So we expect energy to be more expensive in next years.
Yeah.
But with comparable with other countries, it is not expensive.
Right. That's interesting to know. So what are your challenges that you have with organizations regarding reducing energy?
Challenges, first of all, commitment of top management is not very clear. Top management is the first important thing for top management is production. Production first.
Yeah.
So the production, if the production produced with low energy, with high energy, don't matter for top management. This first barrier of energy efficiency.
Yeah.
Other barrier can be the fund. No fund organization to fund the projects for energy efficiency. Third barrier is cooperation between departments in the company. Energy efficiency must. You hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You've frozen, but we can hear you.
To success energy efficiency products, the cooperation of department in the company must be applied. So,
Moustafa, is there a, so you started your career as an electrical engineer, which incidentally is the same as myself. I'm an electrical engineer, which is great. And you've been doing energy management. So where does that bring us? Where are we in your career now?
I am now energy manager in oil and gas company and work as a freelancer, as energy expert and energy consultant in UNIDO and in many organizations in Egypt.
Brilliant. And you have a team of you, or you just yourself?
Yourself, don't have a team.
That's so I know what it's like to be sometimes on your own working. I've got a team with me now working on energy management projects. That's a tough job, isn't it? I call it spinning the plates. You go and work with one organization, you work hard to reduce their energy down, you go and look at the next one and so on. How do you find that? Is that a challenge for going from?
I make all things. I open meeting and close meeting and all preparation and site tours and measurement and verification and report and results and calculation. I make all these things, but I learned this with UNIDO. In this training, the expert learns them to make all things in energy efficiency project cycle.
Yeah. And how do you manage all them clients regarding the data? What do you use software?
Software for calculation?
No, software for monitoring the energy consumption. How do you monitor and provide reporting back to the organization? How are you doing that?
I make software? No.
So you report with the organization regarding their data, their energy data, yeah? How do you present that back to them? Is there any particular, do you use software?
I present these results and conclusion to the company by PowerPoint presentation.
Right. And do you use Excel to do all your calculations, yeah?
Yes, Excel.
Wow.
And we can use SCADA system, if the company has SCADA system,
Yes,
we use this for data history.
Yeah. Brilliant.
We can measure for period, small period. SCADA system can make a long period if we have a deep calculation for this system under study.
Yeah.
We can make use software like Excel for calculation and regression analysis. And we can use Power BI, Microsoft Power BI.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And what's this? So energy from energy management in the UK. I believe my strategy is always is to manage the procurement of energy and manage the management of that energy at the same time. You can't manage one without the other. So what is the strategy in Egypt? Do you have to manage, or can you manage both the processes of procuring and management?
Yes, procurement, we can make a policy in company to, for example, to purchase high efficiency motor, no less IE3. It is legal requirement in Egypt now for export motor, import motor for less than IE3.
Right.
It is legal requirement.
What about the actual energy itself from the supplier? Can organizations switch from one supplier to the other?
No, no. It is for large consumer. It is one supply only.
Wow.
In Egypt.
Right.
It is Ministry of Electricity. It's not it is public, not private electricity, not in private sector.
Right. And when you're looking at energy consumption, are you looking at gas as well? So you look at gas and electricity, and they are the supplier of both gas and electricity, yeah?
Yes, we look about gas and look about electricity. Yeah. We can mix them for electricity. Usually the units is kilowatt hour, and for gas the units is million BTU.
Right. And what's your average prices of gas and electricity over there per unit? Have you got any average prices?
For natural gas, $4.7 per million BTU.
All right. Well, what's that to the equivalent of a kilowatt hour? Do you know what that is equivalent of?
I don't know the conversions.
Right, must be a lot less.
But for kilowatt hour, it's average. It's 1.14
dollars or
LE pound, Egyptian pound.
Egyptian pound. All right.
And Egyptian pound is about dollar is about 23 dollar is 23 Egyptian pound.
Right. I don't even know where to start with that one. Has your energy gone up with this crisis? Have you, as Egypt, been subjected to the energy crisis across Europe?
Energy crisis result of Russian-Ukrainian war. In Egypt, no have energy crisis.
Wow.
Because we have energy plus for electricity. We have more than production of electricity is more than consumption.
Mm-hmm. Right.
We have 50 gigawatt production, and the consumption not higher than 40.
Right.
We have energy plus. And for natural gas, Egypt export natural gas.
Got you. And tell me, do you where you're situated, do you export electricity or bring electric? Have you got interconnections from between the different countries, or you just sit alone?
Electricity for consumption for Egypt is from Egyptian production.
Right.
And we have interconnection with Jordan and Saudi Arabia.
Right.
But we not these countries benefit from this interconnection.
Yeah. So you're sitting quite pretty, aren't you? Really, you would say you're in a good place regarding the energy crisis because you're self-sufficient basically, and you're exporting. That's why your energy costs haven't been impacted too much by this conflict in the Ukraine. I must ask, what is the breakdown of energy? So is it purely gas and electricity? Your electricity been generated 100% from gas, or is it coming from any renewable part of the sector?
Electricity production of electricity in Egypt mainly depend on natural gas.
Right.
Mainly. It is a little bit from hydro, Sadd Al Ali in Aswan.
Mm-hmm.
It is a little bit hydroelectric,
Mm-hmm.
and a little bit on wind in Red Sea region, and a little bit solar in Aswan. It's one of the biggest solar energy plants. I think in the world, it's Pemban solar plant in Aswan. But in percentage, about 95% depend on natural gas.
Right. Okay, that's interesting. And is there any strategy or plan to increase that?
Yes, strategy in 2035, Egypt expect to be 42% depend on renewable energy.
Right. That's a big jump, isn't it? That is a big jump.
Yeah. Because jump was actually achieved by, after Pemban power plant, solar power plant, and where renewable energy projects in different wind and solar and hydrogen and ammonia. These green projects, Egypt ambitious to be increase green projects in next decades.
Right. So Moustafa, have you ever taken your experience and your work overseas?
No, my experience in Egypt only.
Right.
I don't have experience in other country. I work only in Saudi Arabia.
Right.
Egypt and Saudi Arabia a little bit.
Yeah. Big difference from your country working there, or the same?
It's very similar because Egypt and Saudi Arabia are Arab countries and are in all in Middle East region.
Yeah. So is there anything that, it's come to that stage in the interview today that I like to see if we can give something back to our industry? Is there anything you can give from your knowledge and your background and the wisdom of your job role and your career that you can give back to our industry today as a takeaway?
Okay, energy efficiency is not a project, is a journey. Energy efficiency is not about technology only. It is about people and technology, as you mentioned. Energy efficiency, as IEA said, is the first fuel. It's before renewable energy.
Yeah.
We must save energy first.
Your words are exactly my approach. Energy management is a journey. We need to take baby steps towards that. There's no point us. And I like the way you said that energy management is a journey and not a product. It's not a product. It's a process. It's a strategy that we need to be taking. I get so many people come to me. They want to put solar on the roof, and we haven't even looked at things like time clocks or how they're opening their property. It frustrates me, to be honest with you. I get it all the time, and I have to take people back to the process and the principles. I've just launched my training again today regarding the 4 principles, and review is the first thing we need to be doing. We then need to start realigning our existing systems, and then we need to start reducing and then reporting before we even start focusing on installing solar and any of the renewables that is available. And we will get to that part of the journey, but we need to focus on the best practices and the people first. That's why I was quite interested to see your background and what your approach was, and it was quite refreshing to see. And I interview people all over the world, energy experts, and it's amazing how we all talk that same story, even though we've got different languages. And it's very refreshing to hear that. And I'm quite honored to interview someone from Egypt today, and you're saying exactly the same things that what we're trying to do across the world. It's amazing. Where have you learned about energy management? Where's your grounding? Where would you say your grounding was regarding that?
Where I learn energy?
Yeah.
I learn energy from UNIDO.
From
UNIDO.
who? And is that a company?
UNIDO, United Nations.
It's an abbreviation for United Nations
for Industrial Development.
Right.
Expert from South Africa.
Right.
Into Egypt, and has 3 programs for energy management.
Mm-hmm.
We learn this program. This program for UNIDO is structured as 2-day training for amateur training or beginner training for 2 days.
Yeah.
And after that, we have exam.
Got you.
After today, then if you success in this exam, we take a 5-day training. 3 day is theoretical and 2 day is practical in a company.
Right.
Then we have another exam for expert training.
Mhm.
After that, we make a project in a company with a group and make a report. And the expert comment in this report. After the exam and the project, we obtained expert certification from UNIDO for this system.
Right. Excellent. How many energy experts do you think Egypt has? Is there many people following that career there?
We have expert. We have many of people in energy field.
Yes.
Expert ones. I can guess 20. 200 or that.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
But,
There's 200 people that you know of, but there's probably many more.
Many. Yeah.
Well, Moustafa, I'd like to say thank you for joining us today, and thank you for reaching out to me on LinkedIn and chatting to me and sharing your knowledge today. It's been an honor for me to interview you, and I'd like to say thank you for attending us and working with us. So thank you very much for your great words to the industry.
Thank you for you. I am happy to join this podcast. I learned from you. And one day I want to have a podcast about energy.
Brilliant.
With Arabic language.
Brilliant. Please reach out to me. We can work together on that. I'm working with other people around the world to follow my model regarding the podcast. I can definitely work with you on that, and I'll be very interested to share that knowledge, because I want to get everyone talking online and really, we've learned something today. We've learned, I think for me, I've learned that things I've been saying about the energy management journey is underlined by people like yourself in other countries. It's not just us isolating it. It's not just us with the ideas individually. We're all doing it. I always say we all speak different languages, but we all speak that same language of reducing kilowatt hours, reducing carbon, and saving our planet. We're all on that same page. So, Moustafa, thank you very much. I'd like to say, lastly, you and your family stay safe in these times.
Thank you. And I thank you for your book. It's seem amazing, and I want to read it soon.
You're welcome. Okay. Thank you.